Hello, everybody. Um, I was going to talk about protein today, but with the environment blowing up outside, I thought maybe we should talk about ways to boost our immune system and things we could do to keep ourselves safe. So, what's funny about all of this is I've never had a filtered mask before, and I have really bad asthma. I've been hospitalized a couple of times. I've learned through the years how to use my breath through the nose, out through the mouth. So it's not as bad anymore as like when I was a kid. And I also don't eat anything that's bad for me anymore, has made it better. But the mask with the filter, right? I was like, oh my goodness, here it is. So I had to go out today. School's starting tomorrow, and we had all these things that had to be done, and so I had to be out in it. It's definitely getting me. Like I've got a thing going on here, but remembering to use your mask outside if you have to be there. The other thing is that the nose has a filtration system. And this is what really saved me. So my yoga training was with a dog in the room, and I'm really allergic to dogs, so I had to figure that out pretty quick. Um, and so when I asked my instructor, she said you need to work on the inhalation through the nose, exhalation through the mouth all the time, not just in yoga. Um, so yeah, taking that inhalation up through the nose, getting the belly, ribs all expanded like we talk about in yoga, and then exhaling either through the mouth or back out the nose. Now I've learned how to exhale back out the nose, depending on if my chest is here. It's easier for my nose to do the work than my mouth. It took about 4 months of constant practice, and now it's really funny. Like when I try to go to bed, if my nose is stuffed, I'm up all night because I don't know how to breathe through my mouth anymore to do that. But it's a much healthier thing. You don't want all that stuff coming in your mouth anyway. The toxins, the smoke. You don't want it bringing that up into your mouth. That's the most toxic place for that. So that being said, I thought I'd share with you how successful that was for me, and we'll do it on the mat again today. Like I said, I always prep you with the inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, and continuing that breath pattern. So practice that. It'll be important over the next weeks. My partner's up there on that fire, and basically there's no containment. They're letting it burn because there's no way to get at it. There's no way to contain it right now. So it might be all week, if not more, that we're sitting in this. Here it is. So then I thought we could talk about some of the foods that are just so good for you. Some of them are nootropic foods, which are good for the brain. Others are just good for the body. So first we've got cacao, the happy bean. So I don't know if you've ever eaten cacao itself, the bean, without anything with it. It's pretty intense. It's really tannin. It's not good. So get that cacao powder, and it usually needs a little bit of sweetener no matter what you're doing with it. So I use a maple syrup or even like just a flavored oat milk or something like that. You don't have to have a lot of it. It's let's see. Um, Cacao provides your brain with a number of tools to make mood-boosting neurotransmitters by supplying an excellent source of tryptophan, the precursor to serotonin, as well as significant quantities of tyrosine, a precursor amino acid to motivation-inducing dopamine. Plus, it contains a compound called anandamide, a neurotransmitter that's been called the bliss molecule. We actually do cacao ceremonies, and it's even hard to get down in the cacao ceremony, but afterwards you're feeling that, and it's kind of a beautiful thing. Then we've got matcha. Usually you'll see that in a tea form, and it's a highly rich source of well-studied protective antioxidants, polyphenols, tannins, catechins, and EGCG. I can't even say that. Has been linked with helping to lessen the risk of brain disorders like Parkinson's and dementia. And that could be just a cup a day, a cup every other day. It doesn't have to be something you put into your routine at all times. Then we've got lion's mane, which you usually find in a pill or powder form. It contains compounds that support an impressively wide range of brain-boosting benefits. Lion's mane is brain protective, brain healing, cognitively stimulating, and even promotes neural growth. And then you have the reishi mushroom. which usually will also be in the same form pill. Sometimes you can find all the different mushrooms together. Reishi has a slightly more bitter taste than lion's mane. The benefits are cholesterol lowering, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, anti-aging, anti-ulcer, anti-tumor, antiviral, anti-diabetic, heart tonic, hepatoprotective, immunomodulator, and nervine. Those are some big words. Basically, it's really good for you. And like I said, I have a blend of 3 mushrooms that I'll put together for that. All of this you can find online. All of it is information you can research for yourself. I have no recommendations for amounts. It's just ideas, things you should be thinking of. Then goji berries. Oh my goodness, I just love goji berries. I put them in most of my oats. I'll also put them, sometimes I get on a nut butter kick, and I'll put them in my nut butter as well. They boost immune system, revitalize skin, promote longevity, support vision and eye health, boost sexual desire and fertility, and promote liver health. And I actually have a goji berry tree in my front yard. It did not produce this year. It's produced every other year, but whatever's going on with gardening this year in Nevada, it didn't. And then we have purple berries. So you've got kind of the blackberry, blueberry. I would even put the raspberry in it. And these are the memory fruits. They're a part of a broader family of edible berries that are characterized by their purplish pigment. What they do, they're an important source of energy. Plus, they also keep your insulin levels level. So, for the most part, fruits can spike your insulin, but berries are the way to go if you have that issue because they don't work as quickly as that. So you can put berries into that. It also goes into it. And then there's a bunch of herbs and things like that I wouldn't be as comfortable like giving you information on. I don't know enough about it, so I'm going to leave it alone. But then we have turmeric, and everybody has turmeric everywhere. You can find it in essential oil form. You can find it in the powder form, and that's all about inflammation. I'm doing a webinar right now on inflammation, and it's the precursor to like 20 different chronic diseases. And I have it in my own body. I can see it, on certain days I can see my body inflamed. Like I have an elbow thing today. That's all inflammation. I've got swelling in the legs, all inflammation. I push too hard. So I also do turmeric a lot. I'll put it in my drinks. If you haven't tried a turmeric latte, should I say that? You can try it. It's pretty good. Okay, that's what I'm going to talk about that. But look it up. Look up the foods that can help you moderate this environment out here. What can we do to protect ourselves? We can eat the best food available. We can treat our bodies right. We can wear filters when we're out in the smoke. We can stay in as much as we can. We're used to that now, unfortunately, being in as much as we can. Yeah, so take care of yourselves. I'm going to do a very slow yoga today. You can hear I have a lot of congestion. I was out in this today. Even with a filter, it was harsh. So let's start on the mat. So starting with the breath. Take that inhale up through the nose. Expand belly, rib, chest. And exhale out through the mouth, lips parted so slightly. And for now, just trying to take that inhalation and exhalation and making them even. We'll work a lot today on calming the nervous system instead of igniting it. I like to ignite it a lot. Today it's not appropriate. When you start to feel relaxed, focus on your exhalations. Trying to make them longer and giving them more extension really ignites that parasympathetic nervous system. And now after your next exhalation, have a little pause, not a very big one, maybe 1 or 2 counts. So we take that nice long exhale, really trying to release all of the air from the lungs. And then you take that pause. And when you're ready, right back into the next inhalation. And what we're doing here on those inhalations is really, really expanding the lungs as big as we can, filling them with as much fresh air as we can. And then exhaling all of it back out, especially in these smoky times. You want to get rid of all that stagnant air. Okay, let's drop the pause. Go back to that longer exhalation. Two more rounds. And after your last exhalation, we'll bring hands on top of the thighs. We're going to start with small circles, so just in the hip joint. We're going to exhale down, inhale back up. And as we go, making those circles bigger and bigger. Giving that movement to the hips. And then ending up with those nice big circles. Exhaling across the front, inhaling back up. Really sweeping across the ground. Two more. And then inhaling back up, we'll exhale, start the small circle. Inhale back up. I taught yoga this morning and the smoke was coming in. As the yoga class went on, it got harder and harder. Even like we weren't even doing anything crazy. Also, if you have swamp coolers and you can replace the filter, it's a good time. If it's backed up, it's not going to do the work it needs to do to keep the smoke, as much smoke out. I'm noticing it in my own swamp cooler right now. That's why I'm saying it to you. One more time. We're going to come back up to that seated position. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, we're going to bring one shoulder down. Inhale it up. Exhale, other side. So back and forth with the breath. The next time you're over on that right, we're going to hold. So bringing that shoulder forward. Really pushing into that. You can keep the hand here. It can be behind. I like it here for this one. Because then it also gets into my hip flexor a little bit. Inhale up. Let's move to the other side. And we'll inhale up again. Let's trade which leg's in front. My hip is burning. Not liking it today on that side. On the inhale, we're going to roll the shoulders up. Exhale, bring them down. So keep that spine nice and tall. Shrugging them up. And then making a circle with them and bringing them back down the back. Two more. And then we'll turn that around. Inhaling, bring the shoulders forward. Exhale, bring them back. Two more times. Coming back to that neutral spine here, keeping that opposite leg in front. Nice deep inhale, lengthen that spine. Exhale, one arm comes over. Inhale to center. Exhale, other arm. So back and forth here, really feeling into that side body. Slow it down. If the breathing becomes a least bit hard, slow it down. You don't have to keep up with me. No one's watching. One more time each side. And now the next time that right arm comes over, we're going to hold. Let's walk that left arm down as much as we can. Turn that chest to the sky. And we're going to take nice, deep belly breaths. Breathing into that space under the arm. One more breath here. Inhaling back up to center, exhaling right over to the other side. Let that arm come out. Turn that chest to the sky. Breathe into that side body. Really thinking about increasing the space under the arm, moving the fascia. One more breath. And then we'll inhale back up. We're going to go to all fours just for cat-cow. So hands are directly under the shoulders. Knees are under the hips. On the inhale, belly drops, head rises. Exhale, push away from the earth, tuck the chin. So when we inhale, we pull forward with the forearms. On the exhale, literally pushing away from the earth. Work with your breath here. Feel into that spine. How's it feeling today? Two more. And then when you're ready, we're going to push back into child's pose. So knees together or apart. Arms can be extended, or you can stack the hands and rest. Take those deep belly breaths through the nose and send them to the back and the hip flexors. When you're ready, walk those hands to the right. Breathe into that left side body. Really extending it again. Using those hands to pull forward, not forcing, just convincing. And then we'll walk those hands all the way over to the left. Breathing into that right side body. One more breath. We'll walk those hands back to center, slowly coming back up. We'll bring the knees together here. If it's uncomfortable, you can go into crisscross applesauce. Like I think I tell you this every time. I'm trying to sit more here. My quads are tight from years of biking and running, so I'm making this a new thing for myself. Inhaling those arms up. Exhaling, coming down. Slowly inhaling, rolling back up. exhale, coming back down. So slowly working with that breath, continuing that spine movement. Two more. And the last one. So let's play a little with the wrist here. Gonna get those arms extended, just making those circles with the wrist. There's no right or wrong here, just giving them some movement. Then turn it around. You guys all cracking? I've got cracky wrists. And we're gonna take this hand and take the fingers, pulling the fingers back. This one does a lot of that typing. There's so much carpal tunnel right now from in the losing words. The tendons that come up, tendonitis. So much tendonitis from all the computer work we do now. This can relieve it. It doesn't fix it, but it can relieve some of the extra. And then you also want to go to the thumb and bring the thumb back. And you can feel it's a nice big stretch because we never ever here, we're always upside down with crinkled fingers. And then the other side. Still working with that breath, up through the nose, out through the mouth, slightly parted lips. Grab a hold of the thumb. And releasing. We're going to come back to all fours for wrist stretches, and I'll show you. If you have the ability to turn those hands backwards, you'll do that. Oh, I got a thorn. Ow. And then if you can, lean back, find that point, but you want to keep the hands on the ground flat. So only lean back until your palms want to come up. Such a good stretch. It's so opposite everything we do all day. You can rock in and out of it. It's not a big movement. Okay, now the harder one, I think it's harder, is to turn the hands upside down. You might have to come in a little closer. I can't put all the pressure on my hands yet. I'm still working on that, so I don't have all the pressure. So my tush is kind of back a little more. And then as I exhale, I can come forward piece by piece. Couple more breaths. And then come out from that. Woo. Let's go back to a seated position. We're going to keep the legs out straight. Got my little blankie. I'm going to take one arm across the body. Bring the shoulder down. Head goes to the other side. You'll feel that stretch pretty quick. If you have neck tension, I should say. I was telling my class the other day, when I was like 30 and I was doing yoga, all these women my age were in and saying, I have so much tension in my neck and my jaw. I'd be like, oh, why do they do that to themselves? And now here I am talking about my tension in my neck and jaw. One more breath. And then we'll move to the other side. It's funny how you think you're, ooh, ooh, there it is. Breathe into that, fill the space, and use the exhalations to release. One more breath. Let's release those hands, and while we're at it, work on some neck stretches. So we're first going to bring the head back, really opening the front of the throat. And then you should feel a pull. I mean, I'm pulled all the way through here. One more breath. Remember to keep that spine nice and tall. No rounded back. Get the back nice and tall. On the exhale, slowly bring it forward. Slowly. Release those shoulders. Bring them down the back. Couple of breaths. Now, still looking down, you're going to turn your head to the right a little bit. Just changes it a little. Bring it back to center and turn it to the other side. All on the left for me today. Okay, face that head down again. We're just going to take the neck to the right slowly and to the left, but not all the way around. Remember, we used to do that a lot when we were younger. It was prompted a lot. And now they're saying not the full circle, not like that. Half. And I don't know about you guys, but while I'm sitting here, this is doing the trick anyway. One more time each side. Now we'll extend the left hand, head to the right. Woo! And just notice, how does that feel? Where's your tension? It's my fingers. Couple of breaths. Inhale, center. Exhale, other side. One more breath here. Inhale, back to center. Get that back nice and tall again. On your exhale, we're going to slowly move forward into forward fold. On your next inhale, use those hands to pull you forward, lengthen that spine. Exhale, tuck the belly more forward. So you can have knees here bent or not, whatever your body needs. Usually if you bend the knees, you get a little more in the low back, and if you straighten the legs, and the hamstrings kick in. So you can just decide which one needs more attention. And let's really work with that breath, releasing the back body, lower back, hips, SI joint. Visually seeing those vertebrae separate. One more breath. On your inhale, you're going to slowly roll up, one vertebrae at a time. Let's bring one knee in. Get that nice tall spine on the inhale. Exhale, wrap around that knee and twist to one side. Using that back hand to extend the spine and the exhale to continue to twist. The leg on the floor is engaged, pointed or flexed, doesn't matter. And we just use that breath to continually try to get a little more twist. One more breath. Slowly unwinding on your inhale. Let's change sides. No, this is silly, but this is the pace my chest needs today. Take that nice big inhale. I figure if I'm feeling it, everybody else is too. Wrap that other arm around and take that twist. Back hand used to leverage the spine so we can find more of that twist. Take 3 more breaths. I forgot my water. That's typical. And then slowly unwind. Sorry, I would sometimes suffer through that, but with the smoke and the swamp cooler, I'm super parched. Let's open those legs into wide fold or to straddle position. We'll go into wide fold, not yet. Okay, we're going to inhale those arms tall. On the exhale, we're going to shoot for the outside of the right foot. Inhaling, rolling up. Exhaling, shooting for that outside foot again. One more time. Now the next time you go and shoot for the outside of the foot, do that. And then just bring the hands at the foot. You can use the foot as leverage, or you can have a strap around the foot. On the inhale, you pull that spine long. Exhale, come down. Notice where you're tight. What's going on in the back, hips, even the shoulders. 2 more breaths. Then we're going to walk those hands right over to the other side. Coming to the outside of that foot. Inhaling, rolling up. Exhaling, shooting for the outside foot. Again, working with that breath, creating that space before we hold. Two more times. Next time we come down, we're going to hold. So you're shooting for the outside of the foot and then coming and holding on to it. Inhaling, pulling forward. Exhaling, tucking some more. Couple more breaths. And when you're ready, let's walk those hands to the middle here. And doing the same thing, using those hands, pulling the spine forward, exhaling, forward, fold. And we just keep working with it. Feet are engaged. You can have the knees bent more. I know a lot of people can't be here. So you can bend the knees. And we just keep working on that exhalation to see how much more we can release from the body. Two more deep breaths. And on your inhale, we're going to come all the way back up, nice and slow. I was wanting to go into pigeon, but I don't want to do the whole flow for it. So let's go into downward dog for a second. We're going to spend some time in pigeon, releasing and relaxing. But we've got to get some length before we get there. So, feet step back, heels are reaching towards the earth. You can bend opposite knees. Just a really good way to loosen up for pigeon. Get the hips back and forth. Okay, grounding the right heel. Inhale that. Grounding the left heel. Inhaling that right leg up to the sky. We're just going to bring that shin up to the wrists. Sliding that back leg back. So you have options here. You could reach back and hold. I am way too tight today for that. This is just enough tension for me, the smoke, that my body's fighting me. Or you can slowly come down, resting into that spot. You could also, the hips up in the air and totally uncomfortable, as mine doesn't come down, you can put a blankie there or a block. And it gives a little more comfort. You can put a little pressure on that left foot. It squares up the hips. And then settle it. Taking those nice deep breaths. Envisioning those exhalations, creating space in the hip flexor. A few more breaths here. Really, really using those exhales to release the tension that's built. How much more can we let go of? What are we holding on to? One more breath. We're going to slowly come up and see if that back foot's available. So you can slide the hand forward to continue to work with releasings, but now we're getting a great psoas stretch, as well as a quad stretch. One of my yoga teachers said there should never be a time when you go through a yoga class without stretching the psoas. Couple more breaths here. Let's release nice and slow. Go back to downward dog, nice and slow. Take a couple of breaths. And just feel how the one side feels. Does it feel looser? It definitely feels unbalanced, doesn't it? Ground that right heel. Inhale that left leg up to the sky. And we're going to bring that shin up to the wrist again. Let that right foot come back. And kind of feel into it. If you want to get that blanket for under the hip. Ooh, this side is much worse today. And then you could go back. Take the foot. Usually I'm not ready till I release first. So come down nice and slow. Push that right foot into the ground, square up the hips. And then as you release, you can move the blankets or blocks. Again, using those exhalations. What are you holding on to? Let it go. If you think you're ready to come up and maybe grab that back foot, give it a try. It doesn't have to happen. Woo, much tighter on this side. more breaths here. We'll release that leg down to the floor. And we're going to go down to lying on the mat, favorite part. Okay, lying on our mat. Extending left leg. Let me go to the side. Extending left leg, right knee's bent, arms overhead. We're going to go back and forth between bringing the knees in. So nice deep inhale, extend that spine. Exhale, bring the right knee to chest. Inhale it long. Exhale, left knee to chest. And just work with your breath back and forth. One more time each side. The next time the right knee's in, we're going to hold. And what we're working on here is trying to bring that leg in, but also tucking the chin to create that nice long line of the body. Holding the leg either on the shin or behind the thigh. And on those exhalations, trying to bring that knee just a little closer to body. I think I've talked about this before. There's two kinds of people. Some can easily bring the thigh down, and others of us are stuck here, and it's an actual physical thing. Like, it's not going to get much better for me. I can loosen it, but I have a sticking point that's very noticeable, and it's not muscular. It's in my hips. And I wonder, since my hips went so young, if that's part of it. One more breath. We'll inhale that knee down. Exhale to the other side. Bring that left knee to chest. Remember to tuck that chin back in. You can give the ankles some rotation. We're going to bring that left foot down to the ground. Arms are out to the side. Nice deep inhale. We're going to exhale across the body. Really feeling into the side. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling the other side. So back and forth again with the breath. Really pushing to see how much room can you make on each side. Where can you expand the muscle and the fascia? 2 more times each side. Now the next time your left knee is bent, we're going to hold. So left knee bends, crosses over the body. You can tuck that left foot behind the right knee. Try to get those shoulders down on the ground, and if it's available, gaze out over that left hand. And we'll take those nice deep breaths here. Releasing into that twist, really trying to fill the belly with as much air as you can. That's how the organs get massaged. 2 more breaths. We're going to inhale slowly back to center. Reset up the body. Change legs. Funny how crooked we get. Inhale that spine nice and take that nice big inhale. Exhale that right knee across. So in these bigger twists, you can tuck the right foot behind the left knee. Get those shoulders planted, gaze over that right arm. In these bigger twists, you want to be able to get the belly full of air. It's really the way we release toxins. Couple more breaths on this side. On your next inhale, coming back to center here. Let's put those legs in tabletop. Take that nice big inhale. We're going to exhale the knees to the right, all the way over. Again, repositioning the body so the shoulders are down on the ground. And gazing out over that left arm. My feeling is that the smoke is going to need us to release more toxins. So we're doing high twist today. Keep trying to fill that belly big. One more breath. On your next inhale, we'll come back to tabletop. And when you're ready, exhaling over to the other side. Resetting those shoulders. Noticing which side was tighter. And gazing over that right arm. Two more deep belly breaths here. We'll keep those knees bent. We'll come back to center. Now I want you to take a moment to find yourself a relaxing place because before Shavasana, I thought we could do some progressive relaxation. And you really just want to be as comfortable as possible. I'll talk us through it. So find that space on your mat where you can lie down. Maybe with a blanket. Maybe you have a pillow for your head. That's fine in this. You can even put your legs up on the wall or a couch so they're elevated. Maybe I'll do that. And just start right now with your breath, closing the eyes, relaxing the body into the earth. Tuck that chin ever so slightly. Starting with your feet, bring your awareness to your feet. Noting how they feel. Letting them really relax. Outward rotation. Become as heavy as they could possibly be. And moving that awareness to the shin and calf. Noticing any little aches and pains. Use those exhalations to release them. Send them down to the area that's struggling. Taking that awareness up to the thigh. Again, finding maybe that external rotation, that softening, the expansion of the hips. And then moving the attention to the back of the thigh, the hamstrings. Are we holding there? Using those exhalations to release if we are. And moving over to the glutes. Noticing if there's tension. Finding it and releasing. Breathing into those areas, bringing them awareness. Now let's move up the back. So low back and mid back. How are we feeling there? Check in. If there's release that needs to be had, use that exhalation. And then bring your awareness to the belly. Softening that belly. Using that exhalation to release any tightness you might find there. And we'll move to chest and upper back. In this situation, they're kind of together. Paying attention to them. Is it the upper back or the chest that needs the release? I notice a lot of times men need to release the chest and women need to release the back. The stored tension in the shoulders leads to both of those. Now our shoulders, paying attention to our shoulders, releasing them into the earth. They get heavy. Palms are upright. Fingers are curled. And then moving to the arms. Are they heavy on the earth? Or are you guarding and holding? Now the fingers, notice the tension. Do the bones hurt? Or the muscles around it sore? I'm pecking away at keyboards. Release those fingers. Maybe wiggle them. Let them go. Now to the mouth. Really paying attention to where your mouth is. If it's relaxed or if you're holding. Let the face become heavy in general. Eyebrows release. Staying in the same posture. And move right into Shavasana. small one today. And focus again on those exhalations. And when you're ready, deepening that breath. I fell asleep too. Jerked up. So it's time. Giving those small movements to the neck, fingers, ankles. When you're ready, coming to that right side or the left. I always go right. And slowly coming away from the earth, back to seated. When you're ready, taking that nice big inhale up. Exhaling those hands down to third eye to see clearly. Mouth to speak wisely. And the heart to love wholly. Take care of yourselves this week. It's going to be hard. We've got school starting, smoke happening. The year of 2020, can it just end now? Thank you for being here. I wanted to show you the name of this book. I found it to be a really good one. It has recipes too with the superfoods. I don't know if you can, nope. Yeah, you can see it. It's called Smart Plants, Power Foods by Julie Morris. I'm also willing to lend it out. If anybody wants to tag me, I will totally lend it out. I'm kind of done with it for now. I've read through it. Okay, good luck everybody this week. Stay sane.